Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Time Machine Scale Models. We're going to talk about the Mustang 60 group build here, hosted by Scale Speedworks. Mike over there is hosting the Mustang 60 group build in celebration of the 60th anniversary of Mustang. So I've been toiling away on the 67, and the last time you left the channel, we were talking about the body work that I was doing to the 67, and it turned out pretty good. I got the nose and tail fitted pretty well. I mean, this kit does have its issues, but I think it turned out pretty well. I went ahead and I glued the deck lid on there because there's no reason to have it opening and closing. The hood obviously comes off, but everything's looking pretty good. Let me turn this light on. Everything is looking pretty good. To me, a primer on there, and I'm pretty satisfied with the way it turned out so far. We are going box stock with this, so we won't be putting any aftermarket stuff on there like plugs and wires or any kind of plumbing other than what comes in a box. So I've been busy painting today. Between yesterday and today, I got a lot of stuff painted, and pretty much everything's been airbrushed but the primer and this blue on the engine that came from rattle can. So the primer and the blue are the only thing that's rattle canned. You may see that the chassis is orange, and I'll explain that to you. Mustangs that were built in San Jose, they had an orange, it was red oxide primer, but it looks kind of orange in like every photo that I've seen. So I use a Tester's gloss orange with a couple drops of black, and I basically painted the body. Then I was looking at a bunch of different stuff. I was reading a bunch of different stuff, how they did the cars, and from the firewall forward, they were a semi-gloss black or a gloss black. So that's why you see that black fade here. When I put the firewall in, it'll be black. And most of the specimens that I've seen has all this overspray here. And we get it all done up and stuff. Well, not done up, but I will go ahead and I'm going to do some overspray of the green color that we're going to do on the body as well. So far that's taken shape pretty well. Because we're not doing a whole bunch of aftermarket detail, plugs, wires, plumbing, etc., I'm trying to use as many different colors as possible. Looking at some of the photos that are up on the screen right now and trying to duplicate those colors as best as possible, reading build sheets and specs, how they came off the assembly line. So I've been using some Alclad today. I used some exhaust manifold here. It's a little bit darker because I used a gray primer. It recommends a white primer or a light gray primer. Maybe I put too many coats on it, I don't know, but it almost looks black. You can kind of see it in person, but to me it looks a little bit darker than I would have liked. So we've used the Alclad 2 exhaust manifold. We've used steel, and I'll show you that in a second. We've used duraluminum, and we've used dull aluminum. And we used dull aluminum on the transmission and the bell housing and the intake, the aluminum intake. We used the steel color on the leaf springs, the spindles, and the drive shafts. Drive shaft. Glenn needs drive shafts. I only need one. And this is Tester's flat steel thin down with Mr. Color leveling thinner, and it came out pretty good. Obviously I still got to paint the mufflers a different color to make them pop, but I'm pretty satisfied so far. And we have over here the cross member is supposed to be raw steel. That is duraluminum, I think, if I remember correctly. I can't remember. And also spritzed You won't be able to see it on camera, but I spritzed over top of that with the flat steel to give it a little bit different. And obviously we'll use the panel liner and stuff like that to bring about the highlights in that piece. Semi-gloss black on all the suspension and everything. And I will detail that too, because the torque arms are raw steel, and obviously they got the rubber snubber in there and everything, and I'm going to detail that up. And if you know anything about the way they built Mustangs, they actually dipped the pieces. So they dipped the lower A-arms here 3/4 up, so the ends of them are raw steel, where the ball joints are and stuff like that. So I will be adding that detail later on. Ford 9-inch rear end, semi-gloss. The third member is going to be a red color. They say it's red oxide, but we'll see what happens. I think I have something close to red oxide. We will have to see. If not, I've got red oxide in a can and I can decant and use that. What else? Okay, steering components here. They are combinations of steel. The tie rod ends are usually heat treated, so they're a little bit darker. I will add that detail in there. Obviously, I will paint that boot black. Shocks are black, semi-gloss black. The front springs are semi-gloss black. Yeah, so we're making hay when the sun shines. And last 2 days, things have been going pretty well. So like I said, so far about 98% of everything has been airbrushed. And the only thing that's come out of a can is that primer and this blue. And it hasn't turned out too bad, actually. This is the red oxide, quote unquote red oxide that I manufactured. Don't look too bad. It turned out just the way that I wanted it to. Here's some other parts over here in semi-gloss. Brake booster, starter, coil, fan belts, and fan. And I've got some other little parts here that I'm actually going to hand paint because they're small enough I can hand paint it and they'll look pretty decent. So shifting linkage, you got the carburetor, you have the master cylinder, alternator, and the distributor. Alright guys, that's all I got for this update on this Mustang 60 group build, and hopefully I can bring you another video by the end of the week. I'll be traveling to Pennsylvania this weekend, so I won't be around very much. Alright guys, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Happy modeling.